Right, good morning, everybody. I hope you're all well. Here we are. Right, all ready to rock and roll. Right, better grab my coffee, finish it off before we kick into it. Hopefully you can see. Yeah, I think so. I might just shuffle this out this way a little bit more. There we go. Pretty easy, cruisy. Should I say session today? 5 8-minute pieces. I love my 8-minute pieces. 8-minute, 10-minute. I think I've spoken about this before. Just love being able to break things up, punch it out for a shortish period of time, really focus on what we're doing in terms of our technique and our rhythm. And then we have that 60-second break. We can just refresh. And then ultimately, we're just going to increase our tempo, increase a little bit of pressure as we go through the time. So we've got a good amount of time in the first half of the session at each rating. So we start off 8 minutes at 20, and then we cut it down to 4 and 4. So we do 20 and 22. Third one, we go 22, 24. The fourth one, we cut it down to 4 minutes, 2 minute, 2 minute, and we just go 22, 24, 26. So everything's just scaling, nice scaling workout. And then the last one is just 2 minute changes. And so we just go all the way up, 22, 24, 26, 28. Boom, job done, okay? Really nice and simple. It gives us the chance, as we do most weeks, to really just work on this rhythm, the flow, the technique, and just allow ourselves to make sure we're getting this momentum with our hands, focus on the technique, as well as not thinking too much about working harder, but just how efficiently we can make the increase in speed happen. Okay, because ultimately that's really what we're trying to achieve, is that real ease of speed that we can create on the machine. Okay, so that's pretty much the session today. We'll get set. I'm just going to finish my coffee. Okay, it is quite early here in the morning, I'm not going to lie. But that's the cool part about it. We get you guys on here. Hopefully we're covering, we've got Germany, USA, George, Christchurch. Good on you, buddy. You're up early for this, mate. Great. Okay, so we'll just get on, just do a couple of minutes limbering up so that we're in a good position, ready to go. And then we'll be able to rock and roll. Okay, so just going to finish the last bit of the old black gold, and then we'll be away laughing. Love it. So put that over there. Okay, so remember, first part of this warm-up, we just need to be limbering up, loosening up, 2, 3, 4 minutes, whatever it might be, to get us into a position where we're pretty much getting us into a position where we are ready to hit our numbers quite quickly after getting into the session. Okay. So I just like getting a little bit loose just to help stretch, ultimately. This is also a good exercise as well, where when we break down the stroke, we do want to get our hands across our knees, but we do want to make sure that if we get down too far and then we get that sort of knee break, you'll hear sometimes me talk about soft knees. The soft knees these are down, but they're not locked out. They're just there, which allows us to, as we come forward, they just nicely rise as the hips pivot over and come forward, okay? There's a lot of work around, yes, when you're learning to get that movement there. But if you do that too far, then you get this artificial break coming forward with the knees like that, okay? And so this is the fluidity, the momentum. It's just coming across soft knees, and then that change just taking us forward, even now in this warm-up, just feel that right in the tips of your fingers, okay? And just feel how the chain's wanting to take us back. That's nice, okay? And all of these little things combine for us to do it as easy as possible. On the recovery, okay? Now sort of get back into your grip. Just a good little exercise. Yeah, good rhythm. Trying to remember to roll in and out of the front. We're getting down onto our speed. Okay, heart rate should be coming up. Good. Right. So that's about all I need in the warm-up. Heart rate's getting up there, just under my training pace. Okay, so remember, if you need to, get up, have a bit of a stretch, do what you need to, give you a minute or so to just loosen out a bit if you have to. Always making sure we're keeping a good gauge on our bodies. I saw some things on the other day on the Concept 2 forum, and people are like, oh, how do I row if I've got a sore lower back? And you're like, you know, it's tough because you probably shouldn't, but at the same time, you've got to be able to manage it. So ultimately, a lot of what we're trying to do here is injury prevention at the same time. You know, so if we're loading it up too much, we're lifting too much in the shoulders, using too much of the back off the front, loading it, we can get into positions where that starts hurting, which ultimately we don't want to do. Okay. Right. Let's get into it, eh? Oh, that's up quite high. Okay, so on today, same again, select workout, new workout, intervals time. Okay, take that up to 8 minutes. 8 minutes, scoot along so that it comes down to our set rest period, 1 minute. Okay, and then just hold it there. We'll wait 20 seconds. Make sure everybody's on the same page, and then we'll be good to go. So same as always, I'm just going to talk about our efficiencies. Just keep a watch, keep a listen. You know, everything that we try and do here is just around you having a realization of if there's something that I'm talking about that could possibly help your rowing. Okay, so my philosophies are around trying to make sure that we do the sequencing right, that we're doing it as easy as possible with your body weight, and then making it as efficient as possible so that we can step up through these ratings. We can see a good increase. We're not grabbing, we're not tense, we're trying to stay loose and relaxed so that our muscles are working in the right groups, right sequence, ultimately, so we can go right through the scales, take us up to our race pace if we go up there, and produce some good numbers. Okay, simple as that. Okay, right, let's press our tick button. Should be in there now. I'll give you 20 seconds for anybody that the screen timed out or something went wrong. Select workout, intervals time, 8 minute, 1 minute. Okay, ready to go. And then we are good to rock and roll. So the first one, very easy, okay? It's 8 minutes. At 20, we're just going to flow into it. We're going to get into this pendulum rhythm, find the momentum. We'll take a minute or so to work into it. And then we just want to try and maintain a really good pace throughout the entire time, okay, for that entire piece. Okay, so let's pick up the handle. Sit nice and tall. Okay, team, here we go. 5 8-minute pieces. First one, starting at 20 strokes a minute. Are you ready? Attention. Go. So first of all, just find our pace. I'm on 20 there. I'm generally pretty good at hitting the rating. So if your internet's good and you're following my speed, we should be in a pretty good time. Okay, let's start off. Let's think about this hang. Okay, we've got nice fresh legs, maybe. Remember to just leave the arms out long as we push away. Yeah, really good. If we're doing it properly, we shouldn't be able to pull the handle into the finish. We should be able to draw it, and it should just brush the body. Okay, long, holding the pressure as the feet push the body through the middle of the stroke. As we roll forward, feel a chain doing all that work for us, just allowing it to go forward. So we've done that work. And then we relax the recovery. Okay, good. Nice. Good flow. Remember trying to dial in this pendulum rhythm. Momentum around the finish with the hands. Okay, looking for a good solid intensity. Something that's maintainable. All the time thinking, just pressing away on the drive. And then trying to rest on the recovery. while we're at this 20, just take a moment to have a look at your chain, okay? We almost want the chain to be quite flat and on a plane. It's got a little bit of downward movement and maybe a little bit of upward movement around the front, but we don't need to come down here and then lift up too much, okay? If we come down and we do that, we tend to lift on the shoulders, and if we come in and then we drop, we tend to drop, shoot the butt out. So we're still allowing the machine to do what it's trying to do, which is back and forward. Okay, feel that arms again, the hang. As we push away. Good. Open them out, open the body out as the legs continue to push. If we get the sequencing right, just before the arms draw, it should feel like everything's working together. Okay? So the legs are still driving, the body's getting driven, and the arms are just about to hold on for the last part. Everything working together. Good. Nice. Okay, good sequence. Feel it on the feet. With that hang. Okay, really dial in the hang under the armpits. Feel it in the lats. Feel like we're leaving the handle out the front. Feel like we're pushing away from it. Okay? It's going to come to us. So that's our hang. Okay, really work on that. Nice. Good hang. Okay, focus that all the way to the finish. Out of the shoulders. Into the lats. Okay, good. Man, pretty warm here today. Already sweating up a storm. Okay, great. So, first 8 minutes down. I probably worked a little bit hard in that, but man, it's fine. Get through this. Okay, so good solid intensity for this next one. We're going to get on that rhythm. We're going to continue this hang focus. Okay, really taking it out of here and into this. Really try and feel like we're just stretching it out, leaving the hands out as we push away. Just almost feel like they're coming out of the sockets. Okay, we'll do that. And then as we get into the 22, after 4 minutes, I'll start to talk a little bit more about when we're coming onto the feet and continuing the rhythm. So here we go. 20. Now, so back on the 20. Okay, we want to have it a nice elastic length as well. So even though I'm asking for the hang, I don't want you to be really reaching if your flexibility is not up to it. We need to be sitting strong and comfortable. We don't need to be bowled upright, okay, into tight positions. We need to be in a position for you, okay? It's going to allow you to get into the position. Everybody looks different on the machine. Okay, so naturally, letting that length happen around the back. That stretch for the hang happens on the recovery. Okay, good solid push. Remember, one drive, one push. We don't have extra goes at it. Everything opens out through the drive. Good. Okay, nice rhythm. And remember, when we finish the stroke and we brush the body, the hands just flow around. And we get drawn forward. Okay, good. So now we can continue focusing on this hang. Let's start to think about the change in direction around the front. We don't want to come in, stop, and try and pull. Remember that movement, speed around the front. The compression. Almost feels like we're pushing away just before we get to the catch. Okay, nice and smooth transition. Never allowing the chain to stop. It's both at the front and around the back. Okay, just have a good conscious effort about it. Feel the seat coming under. Good. Elastic length. Don't worry if you shorten up a little bit to try and make it feel comfortable. Okay, so up to 22. This one now. Just remember, around the back. Just move the hands. There it is. Okay. So things are just moving a little bit quicker. We don't have to add a heap of power. We'll start by adding that speed, that acceleration. Hand speed, round the back. Good, round the back. Brush the body. Just a little bit quicker on the recovery. That's good. Should help us an easier transfer around the catch. Okay, roll around the front. Nice. Roll around the front. Keep the focus on those armpits. The hang. Good. Nice. Very good. Good. Keeping that momentum. Hang speed. Nice. Remember to stay loose in the grip. You don't need to be choking it. That allows us to release the tension and allow the hands to come around the back. Create the momentum. Nice. Really good. Remember the front. Feel the push. Hang push. Nice. Good. Legs driving the body. Everything getting driven back. Together. And we brush the body. Don't slam it in. Nice flow. Continuous. Like a pendulum. Round the turn. Soft knees. Good, all the way. Okay, nice. So really good. Just that extra freedom is what I call it. So if we think when we go up in rate, we're just creating more freedom. It's a really good terminology to think about what we're actually doing when we increase the speed. So when we increase rating, freedom is just freedom of speed. Free the hands, okay? Free the speed around the front, okay? Or just thinking that how we can efficiently move the machine, okay? Need a quick drink, sweating. Okay, right, so we're into it again, starting 22 now. So let's create this freedom straight off the mark. Don't worry about the pressure. We build into that. So there we are, there's our freedom. Moving the hand to our efficient speed. Nice. Staying loose. Remember, always this patience, this effortless on the recovery. Energy gets put into the drive, not the recovery. That ratio, the work and rest. Good. So we're onto the rhythm now. So let's self check. Think about our speed. Think about our work rate. Feel the push. Accelerated drive. Accelerating the body off the legs. Molding everything together. Continuous motion. Nice. Good momentum. Nice hands around. Easy speed. Always trying to make it as easy as possible. So think about our movements, the sequence. Let's look at our drive. Initiate with the feet. Roll up and around onto the feet. And they just start the push with the hand. Long arms. Nice. Good flow. Hands brush the body. Chain takes us forward. Okay, so as we increase the rate at this 4 minutes, remember, what do? How do we get it? Things just move quicker, okay? A little bit harder, but only about 2%. But our speed, now, acceleration, hands around the back. There it is. Okay. We don't need to see huge change, small change, but consistent. Hand, brush the body. Arms are weak. They can't pull anything. We can hang off the front and feel the leg drive. Which sequences into the body. Nice. Good. Giving you there a moment. You have to think about it. Find the speed. Find the rhythm. Let's focus around the front. Rolling in and rolling out. No pause. Nice. Good motion. Long arms. Nice and loose, shake it out. Good rhythm. Nice soft knees around the finish. As we come forward. Last minute. Continuous motion. Good. Big long arms. Always. Feel the hang. Length of the stroke. Using your power and acceleration. Whatever you can produce. Trying to be maintaining an even score. Nice. Okay. She's getting warm. She's getting warm. That's really good. Okay. So we're well over halfway. These next two pieces, we're just having a little bit more change up. Okay, so now we've got the basis of what we're trying to do today. Just the hang, the rhythm around the turns, that sequence, just focusing on the drive through, allowing it to happen again. We're going to take that through these ratings. So we start off, build into it again for 30, 40 seconds. We find that hang rhythm. We move into 24 at halfway. Then we move into 26 for that last 2 minutes. Same philosophy, same principles. Here we go. Firming. Now, move in. 22. Okay, good. Nice length. Good hang. There it is. Very nice. Okay, dial this in. Feel that natural length happening. We're under the armpits. There's also a point where if we stretch too much, we can't let the seat naturally come underneath towards the ankles, okay? On the same tense, we don't want it to come right up like that because that forces the shoulders to come back. So we need to find where that lies for everybody, okay? It's about flexibility. It's about feet heights. Okay, it's something just to have a self-check on and go, maybe I am getting right up. Maybe I could raise my feet. Or maybe I feel like I'm down like this. So maybe I need to drop my feet to get myself into a better position. Okay? So have a look at that now. Let's have a think about it. While we hold the rhythm. Hands take us forward. Even have a look down. Have a look at the shins. The length. Armpits. Over top of the knees. Good. And then mold that all into our stroke. A continuous motion. So around the front. We've been thinking of that pack up. Make sure we're not stopping. Good. Nice and loose. Breathing. Good. Take this focus. This rhythm and swing. And around the back. Draw into the front. Changing direction around the front. Okay. Just moving a little bit quicker. Up to 24. Here we go. This one. Now. There it is. Okay, no extra effort. Subconsciously there will be. Everything's just moving faster. More freedom. Hang on the arms. Nice. Good. There's our continuous motion. Nice. Easy speed. Good free rhythm. Hands around the back. Over the knees. That's good. Yeah. Good flow. Okay, so we're going up to 26. Same movement. And movement focus. Just quicker. Yep. Now. Do it easy. Acceleration. Hand speed. Speed in, speed out. As you can see, we naturally put the speed on, the acceleration. And the pressure comes with it. We're not having to focus on the pressure making the speed. We focus the sequence. And push. Speed of drive. Yeah, nice. Maintain. Pendulum. Good rhythm. Nice flow. Great, okay. Sweaty. I am a very sweaty person. Okay, so keep paddling it out. Drink if you need. Okay, down onto the last set. So we're putting everything together. Okay, everything that we've been doing in terms of the flow, the hang, the rhythm. Really getting that good extension to just leave the arms out long. And remember, take that first initial focus of all the rate changes to be moving hands, leg speed, not, I've got to create more power. Okay, here we go. 22. Now, so we've got 2 minutes at each. We'll start with here. You get the flow. Lovely and relaxed. We get a nice hang. We get the feet. We get the body weight on the drive. Finishing it off, brushing the body. Good. Breathing into it. Last set, remember, good focus. Yeah, good hang. Rhythm around the turn. Nice length. So we're going to be moving up to 24. Remember, just hand speed, feel the rhythm, join in the leg speed to create that momentum. Here we go. Now, there it is. See, and all we did, we made it more free, more accelerated, and we got more speed. Nice. Sitting tall. Keeping the heads up. Feeling the hang. Good. Hold this momentum, this pendulum rhythm. Feel the ratio. Work the drive. Relax the recovery. Good. So we're coming down to halfway. Same again on the change. Freedom. Easy speed. Here we go. Now. Move away. With momentum. Hang. Really got to focus this last 3.5 minutes. Fatigue's in. Feel the push. Feel the body open out. Hands on the back. Nice. Good. Holding this rhythm. Arms right back to when we started. Out of the socket. Shake it out. Armpits. Hang. In the lats. Round the front turn. Leave them long. Last 2 minutes, 28. Free it out. Here we go. Now, hand speed. Don't power it. Accelerate it. Good. Momentum. Round the turn. Yeah, good. Last minute. Breathe it. Relax the face. Nice and loose. Relaxed. Long arms. Around the front. Around the back. Push. Good speed. Hold it all the way. Last 100 meters. All the way to the line. All the way. Nice. Great. Remember, keep pedaling. I know we want to stop. Just moving back and forward. This allows us to loosen off, get the oxygen into the lungs. Blood can disperse that oxygen around the muscles. Okay, that's a really good workout. Okay, nice and solid, really good focus. Okay, because we're changing at a reasonably good pace, just chuck your machine, push the memory, save that into its memory workout. You can go back and have a look at it, put it on your logbook. Okay, so it's always good to have that break up, which is what we're always trying to achieve when we're doing these sessions, because ultimately you have to focus. You have to be thinking about what you're doing, how you're doing it, okay, what effect different things have on your speed, okay. So when we're watching and I ask you to flow around the front, the numbers might become slower, okay. Don't be put off by when I tell you or ask you to do something that it might slow your numbers, because ultimately you've been doing it one way, and if you try it another way, it might make it go quicker as well, but then you might creep back into the old habits. Your muscles might not be able to hold it for that period of time. So it is a process. Training is a process. Getting better is a process. Finding that technique, changing that technique is another process. And it's just focusing on it all the time, putting yourself into that position, getting the feel for it. Okay, and some people might never get into that position, okay, because it's all about body shape, flexibility, strength. Everything comes into the factors that allow us to be in these positions like this. You know, some people might not be flexible in the hips. I was thinking the other day, I saw a couple of things, and there's a lot of people used to do it in rowing as well. If you do feel like you're on the machine and you're like, you know what, I just can't get comfortable around the catch, I still feel tight in here. Have you ever thought about putting a seat pad on? You know, because what it'll do is it'll just help lift you up a little bit higher and get a little bit of a different angle of attack to your ankles. Okay, because one of the things with the machine is that these are set at like 42 degrees. I think it's 42 degrees by memory. But of course, if you lift yourself up, all of a sudden, you might be at 41 degrees to 40. And that might give you a better angle of push on your feet around the front, because your feet, because you're up a little bit higher off the seat, you might get a little bit better position out the front. Okay, so there's a couple of different things like that which people can try, and I've seen it, people do it all the time. And it's just around trying to be as comfortable as we can. We're trying to be as comfortable as being uncomfortable as we can, because it's not like a huge natural movement. Just because ultimately what we do in this part, like I talk about all the rhythm and the flow and what we do around here, you know, just allowing us to take us forward because of the machine. But what we do in this initial part around here, as we come into the catch and drive away, that there is where our power is created. This point here, as we bring the body through, that's where our numbers come from. There's no other point in this stroke where we get our numbers apart from this here. And this is the sequence I talk about. Okay, so trying to get comfortable, because if we come in and we go, and we lift off the front, body's already been used, and so we're pushing, and then we do this, and you just see everybody go, and the elbows come down because we're trying to pull it into the body. Everyone's seen that technique, eh? Boom, like this. So this part around here, when I talk about that roll around the front, okay, we can even just practice it where we come in and away, and we just get that push. And see, as I'm pushing, the body starts coming back with it, so it's pushed back. And when I talk about nearly everything finishing together, if I did it slowly, we push, 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 back's coming in, and then the arms just start about here, and the legs finish, and this is where the brush happens around the body. Okay, so all of that. So it should almost, everything's just moving together. It's one push on the legs. It's just one continuous sit back. The body hangs for this short period, and then it comes in, and the arms are just hanging, and they're just finishing it off. Okay, so always just trying to break that technique down for you guys. Always just giving you little technical pointers, which are going to make us better. Geez, I'm going to have a look. Can we see my sweat puddle? Look at that, getting a good sweat puddle underneath the old erg there. Okay, so fire any questions if you've got, team, around anything on that session. How you felt? Is there anything in particular you struggled with? Or else did you go, hey, that was pretty easy, I enjoyed it? Because ultimately, that's what we're here for. That's what a sensei is about. It's about you getting better, okay? Not just fitter, but better, because that's what we want to see. You want to see improvement. The machine is one place where absolutely you can get great improvement by just changing a little bit of your philosophy around how you do it, and continuing to work on that. And your fitness is great because of it. Low impact, you name it. It's a really good way to do it. Right, we've got a lot of people from different places. South Korea, Russia. Drat, I'm late. Rachel, it's fine. You'll be all right. You'll catch it up next time. Later. I'm not sure. It takes a while to get online, eh? I think it takes like 6 or 7 hours for it to be processed back into a video. MacMania, can you talk about heart rate zones and training? MacMania, okay. You really need, if you're really having a good crack at being on a machine, or even just fitness in general, if you're like, you know what, I'm gonna really knuckle down and get better at what I do, in a really good professional way, you probably need to get hold of a physiologist. So they'll do a little bit of lactate testing, because ultimately what around aerobic testing is that there's lactic acid and lactate or hydrogen ions and shit all running around your body, and you want 2 millimoles per liter of blood, pretty sure that's how it is aerobic training zone. So that's where you're really efficiently working with all the oxygen in your system. So what you do is you do a test and you increase the watts on your machine, and you start at a certain level and you take blood out of your ear. And what you do is you find where your 2 millimole is and you find where your heart rate is, and it's generally 80% of your max. Okay, and you find that, and that becomes the basis of your training zones. So when you're doing 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40, 50, 60, whatever, in the sort of training pace, which is at 20 to 22 while you're on the machine, you look down at your heart rate and you go, right, it's 155. That's what my blood testing told me. Bang, I'm on the money. Now, you can go plus or minus, say, 10%, which is not too bad. Ultimately, I would prefer the plus side, not the minus, because you're always working a little bit harder. And that is where your training comes in. So if you do know what your maximum heart rate is, do you want me to tell you how to find a maximum heart rate? Then ultimately, that's the sort of training zone. So I sort of know where mine is just from the years. It probably has come down a little bit. But if you do, Mania, if you really do want to actually find your maximum heart rate, it's probably doing, I've got a session online, or you could just do 4 8-minute pieces. Start the first one at 22, 24, 26, 28. Have a 30-second rest in between. And then the last piece will be 28, 30, 32, 34. Okay. And you will just increase, bang. And your last one will be pretty close to your maximum heart rate. So something like that. You can't find your maximum heart rate by doing like minute pieces, because you're working too hard into the anaerobic zone. You've got to build through that aerobic zone to get to that top level. Okay. Great session. Thanks, Gerard. Thank you very much, Michael, George. Great. Edwin, great one. Thank you. Michael, can you please give advice about breathing rhythm when getting faster? Yeah. Hey, Michael. There is a point where when you're at 20, 22, you'll find you probably breathe twice on the stroke, maybe 3 times when you're actually doing it. Then you hit about 24, 26, and you do actually get, you've either got to be shorter or you've got to take bigger breaths. There is a point where it becomes difficult. And you've got to basically go, do I take 4 short breaths, 1 big one, and then back to 4 short breaths, 1 big one? It's really, you've got to find it how you do it. I used to just breathe a little bit shorter and then try and get as much in as I could. So breathe quicker, but just get as much in as I can. And I do find when I'm trying to talk to you guys at the same time, there are points in time where I'm like, shit, I didn't take enough in there. So there is a point where you have to really focus on the breathing, but it is something that is very individual, and there is no rhyme or reason, because you do just get into this position where it gets awkward because the body needs the oxygen, but the amount of strokes and the speed that you're doing each stroke doesn't allow you to breathe that much. So you've just got to keep a focus on it. You might have to take a quicker breath, but just get it in as quick as you can, get it out as fast as you can as well. Mr. Stark, Neil, that's all right. Jump on, you'll get it later. Mark, hey, Eric, great work as usual. Do you think will you be able to today to row the half marathon close to the pace that you rode it for the world record that you still hold? Me? Shit, no way. I'd probably be doing 2K at the pace that I set for my half marathon world record. For anybody that doesn't know, I still hold the half marathon. I know it can be beaten. I'm waiting for the day it gets beaten because that's what records are about. 1:37 pace for a half marathon, 1 hour and 7 minutes. Yes, it's crazy, bloody crazy. Gerard, initially found the low rate very hard, but starting to get used to it now. Big benefits when I pick up the rate. Gerard, is that because you were like, when you were first using the machine, were you just tapping along at like 26? It is something that I'm just a big fan of, because ultimately everybody's doing this and they might just use it for fitness to start with. There's nothing wrong with just zipping along at 26, that's fine. But then when you start to do challenges and you want to go, man, I want to be better. I feel like I could go faster. This is where you've got to break it back to the basics, which is the 20 strokes. And then you get a good zone, and you see your split, and then you just increase the rate. Okay, I'm increasing the rate, making it easier. Yep, okay, that's easy, got more speed. Oh, I'm increasing it again. And then it allows you, so now you'll probably get to the 26 where you were, or some people, and then all of a sudden you're like, man, I'm going so much faster than I used to do. And it's just because you've broken it down, you're using the muscles properly, you're doing the sequencing right, all the other bits and pieces, and that's why you get it all the way through. Saw you posted it. Was Thomas Keller medal the favourite, mate? Because there's only 15 people that have got Thomas Keller. It's basically a Hall of Fame for rowing. A lot of people have won Olympic golds, but there's not that many people who've got the service award to the sport of rowing. So it's definitely one of my faves. Frederick, thanks for getting up early. No sweat. No power on the stroke. Exactly. Okay. Neil, any news on the 5K? Mate, working on it. It's coming soon. Sorry, mate. It takes time. Try and get out there as quick as we can. Till then, I think a lot of these are coming up onto the asensei app. Just getting all done, all the background work. It is quite hard doing the programming. We're a small team. Just trying to get all the stuff on there so you guys can see it, bits and pieces. That's the way it works. So, right, okay, that's enough for now, team. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be back to the 9:30 next week. Yes, just trying to change the times, just get different markets, bits and pieces, support everybody that's down south. But ultimately today we pull in all the Europeans, everyone in America and the UK side. So that's how we go. Apart from that, stay safe, everybody. We see the news here in New Zealand that things are starting to ramp up again with COVID in different places. social distance, wear a mask. It's not that hard. You know, listen to the scientists. We'll get through this. It's just going to take a bit of time. Until then, keep tuning into asensei. Keep tuning into here. Jump on the machine. Blow out some steam. Maybe next week we might get into. We might do some short, fast stuff next week. I'm having a big weekend next weekend with a housewarming, so I'm going to need to flush out some weekend indulgence. So yeah, we might do some short bursts and just really work on some high end speed next week. So structure that into your training plan. So don't do too much fast stuff for next Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday next week. We'll pump out maybe some minutes or 30 seconds or something like that for a bit of fun. Okay, but until then, as I say, stay safe. Wear a mask, social distance, get through this together. Okay, right. Thanks a lot, team. Peace out.